Rob F. in Garden Grove, California, with UFC featherweight contender Nam Phan. Nam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Rob. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Thanks for taking some time out. Now, first of all, let's get right to it. You were supposed to compete on tomorrow's UFC fight night. What happened?
Yes, last Tuesday I sparring with my sparring partner, my new brother Chino, and I was threw a front kick and I kicked him in the elbow, and I guess the ring toe finger, I guess you call it, and right beneath the joint, it just cracked all the way through, and broke my foot.
So you said you threw a front kick,
Yeah,
like an Anderson Silva style
yeah, I
front
tried
kick?
to, yes, but it didn't go too well as planned.
'Cause you kicked his elbow.
It's like kicked his elbow instead of his face.
How bad did that hurt?
It was no, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. I just thought, maybe I sprained it was like a sprained toe or something like that. And I tried to run on it later. It's too very painful. I couldn't run on it. And then I was gonna suck it up to like the Friday of the week, see how it felt. Maybe got better. I could still compete. But then one of my students recommended I go get an X-ray. So we got an X-ray, and the doctor said my foot's broken. It's gonna take like maybe 3 to 4 weeks to heal.
And this was 1 week before the fight.
Yes, this is the week of this is the week before I was supposed to leave to Seattle.
Oh, that's horrible. That's heartbreaking news. And it's also sucks because it was your birthday week as well, right?
Yes, it was the week of my birthday, and I broke my foot.
Well, happy belated, number one.
Yes, thank you very much, Rob.
How old are you these days?
I'm 28 years old this year.
Okay. Okay. So when I assume you called the UFC and let them know that you're out of the fight.
Yes, yeah, I called Sean Shelby and I told him like, yeah, I broke my foot, and yeah, he just said like, okay, yeah, I gotta pull you out, and then when you get better, send him a doctor's note to let him know that I'm good to go again. Then he'll fix me up with another fight.
Is the reaction from the UFC side? Do they require anything? Do they just say, all right, you're out of the fight?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, for me, I don't know how it goes for everyone else, but he didn't ask for anything. I just told him like, yeah, I broke my foot. There's no reason for me not to fight this guy. I had a good time last time, so I think I'll have another fun time again this time. Yeah.
The replacement was named as the Korean Zombie. And how do you feel about that as a replacement? And what do you think the outcome of the fight will be this time?
I think it's a very good replacement. One Asian brother for another one. You know, um, I think Korean Zombie will win the fight physically and technically, but it'll go to split decision, and Leonard Garcia will win again.
Was speaking of Asian one Asian brother for another. Did you see that UCLA video of the one blonde chick who made that rant?
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty. Oh man, pretty ridiculous, huh? Oh man, I guess I heard. I read that she left school because she had too many death threats.
Well, yeah. I thought we were going to see a Nam Fan response video because it seems to have been a lot of response videos to that.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't think I felt like I need to do a response video. There's a lot of other Asian brothers doing response videos for me. Yeah.
Because I just saw that video for the first time
Oh, did
yesterday.
you? Okay.
What did you say was her excuse for making that video?
She said that I read later. She said that, yeah, I was just trying to be humorous and funny, but I guess a lot of people didn't think it was as funny as I thought it was. You know.
Comedy is a very difficult thing to do, and it's not something I recommend you try in front of a laptop camera, especially if some of your material is going to be considered a little racy. That's just a little FYI tip there for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's funny what she said. I was kind of offended, but when a comedian says something racist, oh, it's funny. But when a person that can try to say a racist joke on their laptop, oh man, it got kind of messy.
Yeah, well, to be fair, when comedians make jokes about race, it's not even so much racist as much as it is they're poking fun at it or they see the irony. Well, I mean, I do know there are some racist comedians, but there are some comedians that just poke fun at race, and well, they do it right.
Yeah, they do it right.
They shouldn't be doing it in front of laptops.
She did it. Apparently, she did it wrong.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I've never heard you say Ching Chang Chong. I've never heard you say that at all.
Yes, I a nurse said ching ching chung. I don't speak Chinese, and apparently all the Chinese people have family over in Japan, according to Miss Andrea Wallace. Yes.
Did you see the UFC this past Saturday?
Oh, I only saw the main event, the Shogun versus uh, John Jones.
What'd you think of that?
Wow, it's pretty incredible. I don't know who's gonna beat John Jones now, right?
It was heartbreaking for me because I'm an old school fan, you know, and I've been following the sport for a long time, and just to see Shogun be dominated in such a dominant fashion, you know, dominated in such a dominant fashion. That's stupid to say, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was owned,
Yes.
right? So, do you think that the old guard of MMA is done, and that now it's the new school?
Uh, I hate to say it's done, but it's definitely being passed on to the next generation for sure. But man, it's a very depressing sight to see Shogun go down like that. I thought John Jones was gonna win, but I was really, really rooting for Shogun to pull off a victory. But with his second knee surgery, it would be very difficult for him to win.
Would you consider yourself new school or old school? Because I mean, I've followed your career as well. You've competed in lots of different organizations. Do you consider yourself new school or old school?
Oh man, I don't know. I, I hope that I'm old school because I compete for like over 10 years now. But I would like to think that I keep up with the times with the new school guys. Yes. So I'm not, I guess it's old school. I guess.
Any thoughts on the UFC Strikeforce buyout?
Oh, I thought I don't see much of a big difference in um Strikeforce being bought or not bought. For what I saw the interview with Dana White, he said things are gonna be just as things are gonna be running just as usual. Just that now that UFC owns it, so I guess it's cool. I guess some of the fighters that don't make it into Strikeforce and go to UFC, or the UFC, the guys that make it to UFC and go to Strikeforce. So I guess it's good.
The one potential matchup that I thought that came to my mind, because lots of people are talking about different matchups that are potentially possible between Strikeforce fighters and UFC fighters. Even though it is a different weight class, but it's a guy you fought before at the K1 event in Los Angeles. JayZ. I always have trouble pronouncing his last name. I think it's Calvacanti or
Calvin Conte, I think something like that. Yeah.
right. So you lost to him at the K1 Dynamite event in LA. I was actually there live at that event,
Cool.
and so that's where I first saw you live. But would you be potentially interested in a matchup with him?
Oh, maybe we can make down to 145. I have no interest in fighting back at 155 anymore.
So 145 that's where you're going to stay.
Yes, I fight in the featherweight division. I feel like that's the weight class for me.
How long before we see you back in the cage again?
The doctor said my foot should heal in 3 to 4 weeks. So once that heals, I send the doctors know, and whenever the UFC, fixes me up for another fight, so maybe 2 to 3 months more.
2 to 3 months more before all the fans get to see him back in the cage.
That's fans. That's pretty cool. I like that.
It seems now we're in the age where if you want to fight an opponent, you could just call him out on Twitter. It seems that's how it works. Is there anyone that you're looking forward to calling? I know you really wanted this rematch with Leonard Garcia. If that's not an option, I mean, it isn't now, but is there someone else that you're looking forward to stepping into the cage with?
No, I don't have anyone in particular, that I'm gunning for, in the UFC. Anyone the UFC puts up against me, I'm willing to fight, but just as long as the fighter himself is like entertaining to watch, so the both of us together make good chemistry and have a good showing. So hopefully no one that's, lame pretty type guy, no one too boring.
Rob F. in Garden Grove with UFC featherweight contender Nam Phan, who we hope will make a speedy recovery. Thanks so much for that time.